Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the pretty wild and, let's be honest, unconventional career of one person. We're going to see how a hobby he started as a teenager snowballed into a full-blown cosmic investigation, and then, somehow, into a professional mission. Okay, let's get right into it. The whole journey kicks off back in 2011 with a teenager's paranormal club. But then it takes this hard left turn into the history of a WWI-era psychic. And it all lands in 2022 with a legitimate media company. So how on earth do you connect those dots? Well, that's exactly what we're here to unpack.
Here's how we're going to break it down. We'll start with the Teen Raider Force, then jump into the Cosmic War investigation that followed. After that, we'll look at the bonkers network he built. By the end, you'll see how this strange journey actually makes a whole lot of sense.
Every story's got to start somewhere, right? This one begins in 2011 with a 14-year-old Dakota Frandsen and his surprisingly ambitious paranormal investigation team. So you got to picture this. It's a small crew of teenagers. You've got Frandsen, who's the leader and the real engine behind it all. Then there's his high school sweetheart, also an investigator, and another member they just call Butch. And since they were just kids, they had to get an adult, usually one of Frandsen's relatives, to chaperone their 3 official ghost hunts. And here's where it gets really interesting. You can see he wasn't just messing around. This wasn't just a weekend hobby. As a teenager, he was already kicking around these huge, professional-sounding names. He was thinking about branding, about scope, and he was even testing out the title that he'd eventually adopt, Specialist of the Strange. But the whole thing just fell apart. The story goes that Frandsen found out the third member, Butch, was being abusive to his girlfriend, so he just shut it all down right then and there. And this wasn't just the end of a high school club. It was a really painful lesson in trust and betrayal that, as you'll see, shaped pretty much everything he did from that point on. So, after an experience like that, where do you go? Well, you go from investigating local haunted spots to uncovering a cosmic war. It's a massive leap, right? His focus didn't just expand, it went completely interstellar. And the stakes? They got way, way higher. Later on, Frandsen's research zeroes in on this really enigmatic historical figure, Maria Orsic. The source material claims a pretty complex story around her. She wasn't just a psychic for the Nazi era of real society, but actually a central figure in a secret history involving powerful off-world groups.
And according to this research, that secret history was basically a hidden war between 2 major extraterrestrial factions. On one side, you have a group called the Talshire, who allegedly teamed up with the Nazis to create chaos. And on the other side, you have the Galactic Federation of Worlds, who were apparently trying to stop them and protect Earth.
And Maria Orsic was supposedly smack in the middle of this whole thing. The allegation is that the Talshire used her incredible psychic abilities as a kind of living conduit, a way to feed advanced tech designs straight to their Nazi allies. She was, for all intents and purposes, a critical pawn in a much bigger cosmic game.
But that's the big question, isn't it? Was she just a victim here, a pawn being used by these powerful forces, or was there something more going on with her story?
And this is where the whole story takes a crazy turn. The research claims that Orsic wasn't a pawn at all. She was a player. She was allegedly a secret member of the Galactic Federation, the good guys, acting as a double agent to feed bad intel to the Talshire and crucial intel back to her real allies.
So, according to this version of events, her story doesn't end in some tragedy. It ends in a successful rescue mission. At the very end of World War II, the Galactic Federation supposedly got her off planet and faked her death. For Frandsen, this whole deep dive wasn't just about history. It became the inspiration for his next big move.
Okay, so what do you do after you've spent your time investigating cosmic conspiracies and interstellar double agents? Well, obviously, you start a company to help other people share their own wild stories.
So in 2022, he launches the Bald and Bonkers Network. And this mission statement, wow, it just perfectly ties together everything he'd been through. The passion, the betrayal, that deep research, it all gets channeled into this new mission to help others.
And he didn't just create one thing, he built this whole ecosystem. You've got a free academy with business courses, collaborative books to get people's stories out there, and even plans for a streaming platform. The whole idea is to give other creators the actual practical tools they need to tell their own bonkers stories.
You can really see how much his perspective matured when you look at the company's core values. It's a definite shift from a personal hunt for weird knowledge to a public mission focused on empowering a community. He's all about inclusivity and even using new tech like AI to help other creators get ahead.
So, let's bring it all together. What's the big takeaway here? When you connect all the dots of this pretty strange journey, you get a really clear picture of how you can turn a passion, no matter how weird, into a real purpose.
The through line here is just so clear, isn't it? The ambition of that 14-year-old kid trying to brand his ghost hunting club, the hard lesson he learned from that betrayal, the deep dive into cosmic history, none of it was a waste. It all became the foundation for his final mission, helping other people share their own extraordinary truths.
And really, that just leaves us with one final thought. Frandsen followed his curiosity no matter how strange that path got, and he literally turned it into his life's work. It kind of makes you wonder, doesn't it? What strange passion of yours is just sitting there, waiting to become a mission? That's all for this explainer.